Welcome to the Self-Love Summit. I'm Mia Saenz, your host, and with me this week is Malinda Zarate. Welcome.
Hi, Mia. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing fine. Very happy to be here.
I'm grateful to have you here. Would you share with everybody about your energy healing and approach to life? It's really beautiful.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Well, I am passionate about energy healing and also about heart-based living and personal transformation. And I have come to realize that really we're not able to truly love anyone else if we don't love ourselves. And one of the best ways that I know to love ourselves is to really open up our heart and to reconnect with our heart space. And the best way I've found to do that is through using nature and connecting with nature in order to do that. We are nature. Our bodies are made of the very same four elements that everything that we see and experience and feel are made of, including our hearts. And so if we can, as we're really beginning to try and make adjustments to reduce our stress and increase our well-being and our happiness quotient, and to also connect more with our spirit and our intuition and our inner guidance, I have found that if we can take some time out of just a few minutes out of a schedule each day to connect with nature, it can really make a difference and can allow us to begin to move into a place where we can actually use our energy more efficiently, more joyfully, and let go of some old baggage that we no longer need to carry around. We can lighten up.
Right. That's wonderful. And even living in the city, we can connect to nature.
Absolutely. In fact, as a wellness coach, that's one of the things that I really have had quite a bit of experience with, is encouraging people who live in urban areas, particularly women, who seem to be most of my clients, not all. But women, we tend to have these crazy schedules, don't we?
Yes.
We have a lot going on. We have families, children that need our attention, our guidance, our love, our time. We have husbands or partners that want the same thing, our love, our attention, our time. We have employers or companies that we own or businesses that we run. All of this creates a lot of time demand for us, and sometimes we feel stretched pretty thin. And so if we can just, as we're moving through our day, just take a few minutes, and I try and encourage everyone to start simple. Keep it simple. That's so important as we are making changes. I don't want people to feel overwhelmed. So I encourage people to start with the air element. Keep it simple, and first start with your breath, with just becoming more aware of how you're breathing. Are you running around shallow breathing, kind of in a panic, always in a hurry, feeling stressed? Or do you allow yourself to just take a few moments several times a day and just take a nice deep breath, or a series of deep breaths? That can really help bring us into the moment. It can help ground us, balance us, relieve some stress, so that we can refocus and do what it is we really need to do, want to do. Makes a huge difference. It's so simple, but I try to encourage my clients that I'm working with to at least 3 times a day. And I invite them normally to start their day with just a few deep breaths before you even get out of bed in the morning. It can really make a difference to just take some deep breaths and think about your day. Okay, I'm going to approach my day calmly, yet energetically and joyfully. 3 breaths, 1 for each of those topics.
Right.
And then get up, and it's amazing how that will kind of just change your energy to get you started. And then maybe again mid-morning or right before lunch or during lunch, if that's the best time. Just again, before you start into the rest of your busy day, Just take a few deep breaths and give yourself that gift. And then as you're falling asleep at night, that is the best way to relax, to just gently allow yourself to sink into some brainwave patterns that are going to be healthy for you, are going to be able to allow you to recharge and have that lovely, luscious, relaxing sleep that we all deserve and we all want.
Yes.
So that's the simplest way. That doesn't take much time at all. We're just talking about maybe 10 minutes a day tops. It's really fast, but it's so important. And people don't do it. They forget. We get busy. We forget. So that's always the first thing that I encourage people to do is reconnect with the element of air. We're breathing anyway, so do it consciously. And the more often we're able to do that, the better. And then the second, of course, is water, the water element. And we can use water in so many wonderful ways for health and wellness and even for spiritual connection. But the first thing that I always encourage everyone to do is to drink more of it. Most people don't drink enough clean water, just water. I tell everyone, just add water. And, it's not the most exciting thing, water. It's even though we need it, it's life-giving. So I encourage people to make it fun. We're going to be much more likely to put a routine into our schedule if it doesn't take much time, if it's fun and pleasurable, and we're kind of drawn to it. So I just tell people, look, just drink the water. Drink 1/2 of your body weight every day in ounces, and keep a beautiful, clear glass of water with you all the time if you can. If you're at a desk or in a work environment where you can do that. And if you need to, decorate it. Make it pretty. Put some slices of citrus in it, or some flowers. Put flowers in it, or mint, or, anything that will draw your attention to it and make it interesting to remind you to drink it. And some people, I even encourage, if you're in a place where you can get away with this without people wondering, what's going on, take words to the glass of water. Take the words love, or joy, or prosperity, or peace, because water carries a vibration, and it's very powerful. And water carries a vibration such that whatever we infuse it with, whether it's our intentions, our thoughts, our words, our focus, that water absorbs it. And then if we drink that water, we're actually giving ourselves the gift of those beautiful ideas and concepts that we have infused the water with. And it may sound far-fetched, but it's been proven scientifically that water carries vibration. And we know that our bodies are primarily made of water, so drink more water and use water to make yourself feel better. And we all love it. We love to get in water. We love to put our toes in it. We love to immerse ourselves in it. So I also encourage people to immerse themselves in water as many times in as many different ways they can, because that also de-stresses us. It allows us to relax. It's pleasurable. It's also great exercise if we swim. But even a nice soothing bath at the end of the day with candles and some bath salts, that is just yummy, and that is self-love. It's self-honoring, and it's going to benefit you and everyone around you, because you're going to feel better and be happier. So,
I love that.
It makes a big difference.
It does.
And so that's where I usually encourage people to start, with those two simple, easy ways. They don't cost any money. They just take a little bit of focus and some time, and it can make an enormous difference. And then there are ways to use the other elements as well, the fire element, through movement practice. and everyone has something that they enjoy doing in the movement form.
Right.
It can be Tai Chi or yoga or dance, or it can be going for a nice walk outside. It can be stretching. You know, whatever movement form is going to make you feel good without it being a lot of effort. None of the things that I encourage people to work with their energy around take a lot of time or much effort. But again, every day, at least a few times a day, do some Qigong or stretch, do something that will really allow you to feel your body and connect with your body. And then the fire element, when we move, we stimulate that within us. If we move enough that we sweat, that also is a way that the fire element gives to us. So those are just some simple ways. And then the last element is the earth element. And in a way, this is my favorite, but they're all important, equally important. But this one is to use the earth as a way to balance your energy, to ground yourself, to reconnect with Mother Earth. And one way to do it is simple. Go outside, and if you can, kick off your shoes. Stand barefoot in the grass. Stand on Mother Earth. If you can't do that, if you're in an urban area and that just doesn't seem like the thing to do, go lean up against a tree. Just find a nice, beautiful tree that you're drawn to. Lean up against it and put your palms behind you and let your palms touch the trunk of that tree. And that tree has roots that go deep, deep into the earth. And that will actually allow you to connect with the energy of the earth. It also is going to do something really wonderful and healthful for you, because it's going to reset your own body's magnetic field. We're around so many wireless devices. We spend so much time connected that it interferes with our own personal magnetic field. So it's important for us to take just a few minutes to connect with the earth, because it actually will rebalance us. It's so important. It's so easy to do, and people, they forget. They just don't do it. Really important.
Would you also say that even just lying on the grass with your hands underneath you?
Absolutely.
With your palms down.
Gardening is a wonderful way to connect with the earth as well. If people enjoy gardening and like to get out and putter around with plants, flowers and vegetables, that's a great way, because you're touching the earth with your hands. So you're getting the same benefit. Anytime you touch the earth with any part of your body, it's giving you that benefit. And it's again, everything I'm saying has been proven scientifically. This isn't mumbo jumbo stuff. These are health tips, wellness, wholeness tips that people can, again, just incorporate into their daily routines very easily, and they're fun. Things have to be fun for me.
Right.
We have a lot of serious, heavy aspects to our lives. So this is a wonderful way for us to lighten up and balance things. We have to have some fun. We have to have some enjoyment and some joy in our lives. And these are just some great, simple ways to do that don't require, a lot of props or a lot of money or a lot of time.
Right. I think that's wonderful.
It's so important. So many people are not in a position, they don't have the time, maybe they don't have the money to go somewhere and treat themselves to a spa day or those kind of things. So you can still honor yourself, treat yourself, love yourself with these simple tools and techniques, and it makes a huge difference. Right. All these things are anti-aging. They're health-giving and anti-aging.
Yes. I love that, because when you were talking about the breathing, it made me realize that, and I've tried to do what we've talked before, and you and I, and so I tried to implement that throughout my day, and it really is amazing when you can say, okay, this is my time. I'm going to take this time right now and I'm going to do this. I also do it before I meditate. Obviously you breathe and it's a clearing. Or if you just need that, like you said, that whoosh of beautiful energy, it's truly amazing. And I love the water concept because when I lost 140 pounds in 7 months without surgery, I was a huge water drinker. And you can tell yourself, I love it. And I had exactly what you said, a glass on my desk everywhere I went. And also I found that when you drink water, it also, like if you have a cold, it heals your body so much faster because it's pushing everything out, pushing everything through. I mean, that's a beautiful thing right there. And also I was thinking about, which I love, the glass thing. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go to one of the art stores, and I'm going to find a beautiful paint pen or something that sticks to glass, and I'm going to write love all over it. And I'm going to make it my desk glass. That's so amazing that you brought that up. If you just put something on it, I love that. That's beautiful.
It's just so fun, and it's also, it's powerful. It isn't just, something that's kind of fun and lighthearted. Right. It actually has an incredible amount of vibration and personal power. And it's a great gift for you and for the water.
Right.
So it's a wonderful gift for the planet.
It's honoring. It's honoring it, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they also found in that study of water that when they took a glass of water and they spoke sweetly to it and loved it, and then they took a glass and they froze it, and then they spoke angry at the water and froze that, when they did put it underneath the microscope, the elements were different. One was beautiful and one was horrific. And it's so amazing that that people don't realize more of this. It's really beautiful. And I like the idea of the fire when you work, because we need to. That's one of the most important things, is to create that in our body on a daily basis, because that is what gets our metabolism working and our hormones working. And there's reasons why that we are, like you said, exactly like nature.
Yeah, it's so important. And it really, just, again, it's so key to people to remember that they don't have to make this be a lot of effort.
Right.
That's my big thing. And I just always ask everyone to commit to start with 2 of the elements. And I usually recommend water and air first.
Yes.
But if for some reason somebody wants to do something else, I say, sure, that's fine. Whichever 2 you like. Start with 2.
Right.
And then just as you begin to incorporate them into your routine, add 1 more. And it just takes 21 days. It takes 21 days to start developing these new rituals for ourselves. And I like to call them rituals rather than routines, because routines kind of boring, and rituals are something that we can do that's sacred. And when we decide that we're going to begin to connect with ourselves and with nature and our spirit, that is sacred. It's sacred time. So these few breaths that we take, or this few minutes that we go outside and stand and lean up against a tree, the few minutes that we stretch, with consciousness and realize that we're generating our own chi that way, our own internal fire, those are sacred moments. And if we begin to incorporate those sacred moments within our days, our life begins to become more sacred. And that is
more beautiful because of it. Yes.
Absolutely.
Wonderful that you bring out the ritual and the sacredness, because that's all part of self-love and honoring ourselves, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
And the more we do it and we look at it that way, the more excited we are about it, and the more it means to us, and the more developed into our being it becomes. I love that.
Our life becomes richer. It takes on more meaning for us. Everything that we do becomes more meaningful and more important. Everything begins to matter more. And it takes away a lot of the stress. It just will naturally begin to dissolve. even when we have a particularly stressful day, we're stuck in traffic, or, our child has forgotten his homework, papers for the fourth day in a row or something.
Right.
We still are more centered, and we're able to deal with whatever it is that shows up in front of us with a lot more grace, and usually with some humor, and just more clarity.
Yes.
And that's what we need. We need people who are functioning optimally, who are happy, healthy, clear thinking. It's what this planet is just really asking for. And it's so simple. The way to do it is to connect with the elements of the planet.
It creates a whole person. So the more whole people, the more the mass changes.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, is that I'm really becoming aware that more and more people are really looking for some simple solutions, simple ways to begin to just gently but efficiently make some changes in their own lives.
Right.
And so I've spent a lot of time myself being stressed and burned out and having some health problems and that sort of thing. So when I began to really feel kind of desperate, and I was at that place where I felt pretty desperate, I began to sort of really think about, what can I do? What can I do? I didn't want to be reliant on third parties for my health and wellness and my happiness. I didn't want to have to drive someplace, every day for treatments. I didn't want to have to spend lots of money, take pharmaceutical drugs. I wanted something that would make a difference for me, that would be lasting, that I could do, that was, doable for me.
Right.
And I think intuitively I began to understand that nature, reconnecting with nature, was part of the problem, that I had kind of been in disconnect mode for too long. Over busy, overworked, overstressed, all of those things. And so I kind of used myself as the test case. And I started with myself and realized that if I could do it this way, I could guide anyone else to do it this way.
Yes.
And it really has proven to be so true. Yeah.
That's the amazing effect that teachers have. We're in a learning cycle. We learn, and then we share, and then we learn again from our students, and then we learn and we share. It's a beautiful cycle, which again is like planet Earth.
Yes. Yeah.
That beautiful movement. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Yes. Absolutely.
I wanted to ask you. You are two things. You're giving a free gift, and you also are wanting to do with me. Well, with everybody, and I'll be the participating person on this end, an experiential, and I believe they're connected.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, the gift that I am going to be offering to all of your listeners and viewers is a 1 hour long MP3 entitled Energy of the Heart. And this is a 1 hour talk that I gave that really, it talks about the powerful energy of our heart center, and how we can become more conscious of it and use our heart center, how powerful it really is. It's really almost kind of the control panel for our being. And again, I'm not telling you anything that hasn't been proven scientifically. They really now discovered that the heart itself emits waves, much like brain waves, but they're much stronger than brain waves, and they can be measured. They also reach much farther than brain waves do, distance-wise. So it's actually been proven now that our heart waves have the ability to actually extend out around us consistently for at least 6 to 8 feet in all directions. But they could possibly, depending upon the way we're feeling, events in the world, what's going on, they could actually extend out for miles from our heart center. And I was told an incredible story that I'd love to share with you and your viewers by another energy practitioner who happens to be a friend of mine. During 9/11, there was something really interesting that happened. There had been a couple of those giant weather telescopes, those satellite telescopes that have been, I guess, in place for a number of years prior to 9/11. And you know, the scientists would take the readings every day and kind of see how they moved around and what was going on. And these were satellites that had been, you know, watched by this group of NASA scientists apparently for quite some time. And on 9/11, within just a few minutes of the first plane striking the first tower, there was this huge jump in the readings of these two satellite telescopes. And again, after the second plane hit, within just a few minutes, exact same thing. They could not figure out what that was for a while. But then when they went back and looked at all of the data, they realized that was people learning about what had happened all over the planet. And the depth of the feeling that people had about that event was what caused that huge jump up in those measurements. It was just really amazing.
Yeah.
So that was just incredible for me to learn about that. And there also have been now many different experiments and lots of work done, particularly by HeartMath organization, who is an organization focused on studying the heart and the impact and the energy of the heart. And the purpose is to create a better planet. So,
Right.
Yeah, so the energy of the heart is something that I am absolutely passionate about, very much focused on, and want to encourage everyone to begin to learn more about and to use. We're not asking anyone to dismiss the functioning of the brain. We all need our brains, and we need to learn and think and all of those wonderful things. But the heart really does have an incredibly strong connection with our brain. Not only our thinking mind, but also our subconscious mind. Our heart is very connected to that area of our being. So,
I personally believe that our soul is actually stored within the heart, or the sacred heart space behind the heart, and that's why vibrationally you can feel it for miles. You can constantly, it can constantly be tracked, the energy around you.
A lot of people feel that way, and ancient cultures and ancient religions also believe that. So,
Oh, good.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
I normally, when I'm studying something or my heart's desire wants to learn something, I usually discover it through meditation. All that is remembering. We know everything. We're all universally complete. And so I've even actually taught myself how to paint by going into meditation that way, because I knew at some point, the information's out there and I know it, whether I've done it before or whatever. So when I went to the art store to buy my stuff 2 years ago, they were shocked that I'd never painted. I'm, asking about the canvas and the paint and the brushes more than anybody who hadn't painted would be asking. Yeah, and I did a huge 48 by 48 canvas, so it's amazing what we can do, and when we trust ourselves.
Yes.
Would you like to do the experiential?
Yes, I'd love to. Absolutely.
Wonderful.
So, what I'd like to ask everyone listening and viewing to do is really just, again, take a few deep breaths. Let's just start with a nice deep breath and just inhale in and just let it out. Let out the cares of the day. One more nice deep breath in. And if you'd like, just feel free to close your eyes. Lots of people are able to relax a little bit more easily with their eyes closed, so feel free to do just that. And One more, 3 nice deep breaths. Here we go. In, feeling in that nice, clean air. And just relax. And so as we begin, we're going to just picture ourselves in a beautiful sunlit meadow. It's mid-morning. The sun is shining on us. The temperature is perfect. It's warm, but there's a breeze. We feel blowing our hair and caressing our skin. And we walk along a beautiful path. There are bright stones along the path, and the colors are vivid. Bright green plants around, and beautiful bright blooms on the flowers. Sunflowers are just standing up and waving at you as you walk by. And there are many trees around, so the sunlight kind of moves in and out through the leaves on the trees as you walk along this beautiful path, this wooded path. And you are, as you walk, beginning to feel calmer but lighter. Your steps feel just a little bit lighter, even though you feel your feet touching the ground. And you walk around a curve in the path, and you see this beautiful scene. It's a beautiful, bright field of red poppies. And in front of that field of poppies is a little brook, and you can hear a waterfall, a small waterfall nearby. So you decide to just walk along the side of that brook for just a few moments, and you come to this little waterfall, and it's just beautiful, and you decide to just step into the brook. Just step in with your bare feet and walk over to it. It's not deep. It just goes up to your knees. It feels great. The water is cold, but it's also refreshing. And you look down, and there are these beautiful little fish that are just swimming around, not bothering you, just saying hello. There they are, just moving in the same direction. And you walk over to the waterfall, and there's this beautiful rounded rock right next to it. So just have a seat on that rock and leave your feet in the water, with your toes just in the water. And as you sit down, just place your hands on that rock, and it feels warm on your hands. And the sun is shining on your face. You hear that beautiful melody of the water falling over those gently falling over those rocks and moving down the brook. And you feel the air, you feel the breeze on your face. And there are butterflies. There are butterflies just dancing around the water, dragonflies and butterflies. And it's just perfect. You're feeling and sensing and experiencing all 4 of the elements of Mother Nature. You're experiencing the sun, which is the fire element, and the warmth of that. You're experiencing the air element, the breeze on your face, caressing you, blowing your hair back gently. You're experiencing the element of water. You're hearing it. You're hearing that melody of the water. And you're also feeling that water running over your feet and touching your ankles. And you're also experiencing the earth element. You have your feet on the bottom of that shallow brook, the stones, you feel them with the bottom of your feet. You're sitting on that beautiful smooth stone which is connected to the earth. And just sit here for a moment and allow this magnificent, beautiful earth, Mother Earth, to give you gifts of warmth, and lightness and healing and joy. Just breathe it in. Just inhale it all in. It's right there for you. It's yours. It's all there for you. And just take a few moments to just feel it all. All of these beautiful earth elements, the 4 elements, which all are part of you, and you are part of all of them. Just make that connection. Continue to breathe. It's glorious, isn't it? It feels wonderful. It's heavenly. And as you sit there, just realize how grateful you are for the beauty and the light and the joy and the healing. And just send some gratitude out to each of these 4 elements and inside to yourself for your connection with each of them. And just gently begin to bring yourself back into the current picture. Wiggle your hands and feet a little bit and move around. And remember that you can keep that image and carry it with you. Take that into your heart space. Just take that beautiful picture of the connection that you just made with your own nature. Take that deep into your heart and carry it with you for the rest of the day. And just when you're ready, gently open your eyes and come back to this time, here and now.
That's lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I loved the rock and the water and feeling it all. It was beautiful. Thank you. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it's fun to do those.
What last message would you like to leave the audience with?
What I'd like to leave the audience with is just knowing that no matter what is going on in your life, no matter how difficult things might feel, no matter how stressful or how overwhelmed you might feel, that there is help available for you within your own heart. And all that you need to do is really just begin to connect with it, to use that space within your heart to connect with the nature that's around all of us, no matter where we live, no matter what we're doing. We can always take that little place within us that we know is connected to the earth and to nature and to spirit, and just take a few deep breaths and begin the process of reconnecting.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was truly wonderful to have you join us for the Self-Love Summit. Thank you.
Oh, it's been a real pleasure, and I appreciate the opportunity. Blessings to you and to all of your audience.
Thank you so much. We'll say goodbye, and we will see you in the next segment. Bye.
Bye-bye.